Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Juan Pablo from 100% Finance at 100%finance.com. Mr. Cashflow, Mr. Passive Income, the people's mentor. I got what you need to succeed. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Topic of discussion for today: how not to get screwed in your real estate investment deals. All right, because it happens, right? People get screwed over in this industry, and you can't blame the other party. Unfortunately, you have to blame yourself. More than likely, you didn't follow the right blueprint or you didn't buy it right. So before I get into the topic, just let me share with you a story. I had 2 people reach out to me this week. Yes, this week alone. One person via Facebook, just sent me a direct message, and another person via phone. He was talking to Hollywood Ryan, and Ryan was like, hey, I got Juan. He just walked in the house. And yeah, you can talk to him real quickly. I said, okay, I'll talk to the guy. So let me tell you about the Facebook guy. The Facebook guy said, hey, I bought a property at an auction and I didn't do the title work. The title is cloudy, it has encumbrances on it, and I don't know what to do. Can you help? I'm like, how are you going to seek advice after the fact, brother? You're supposed to seek advice prior. The other gentleman used all his cash to buy a distressed asset. Again, all cash. He didn't use hard money or other forms of creative financing. And then he didn't have the tenant in there, and he was wondering how can he pull the money out, the equity, a cash out refinance, but he has no tenant in there. And he used his personal credit cards, which is a no-no. He was stuck in a peculiar situation, right? And that sparked my interest in creating this video for you so that you can avoid getting screwed in your real estate investing deal. So let's dive into it. The first step is you got to buy it right. That's the biggest mistake I see beginning real estate investors make. They buy the property wrong. How do you buy it wrong? They focus on value plays when, in my opinion, you should focus on yield plays. What's the difference? A value play is when you're buying a beat up house, you have to add a lot of value. You have to do a lot of repairs, full renovations, and so forth. You might not be used to managing a team of contractors. In fact, you might not know anything about construction. And you're a newbie, you're fresh, you're wet behind the ears, and unfortunately some people can take advantage and you buy the wrong type of property. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying buying ugly houses doesn't work. Yes, I've used hard money. I've done plenty of ugly houses that I've fixed up and made pretty and put a tenant in there or sold it. But once you're experienced and you've accumulated a good team, then I advise you to do a riskier investment. But not initially. Initially, you want to do a yield play. A yield play is a real estate strategy in which you're buying a property that's already yielding cash flow day one of closing. That way, it's a safer investment. Minimal risk, okay? So you have to buy right. Many people buy the property wrong. They buy a property because they say, oh, it's worth 100, but I'm getting under contract for 50,000. And I say, okay, so what's the cash flow on it? The what? The cash flow. What's your cash on cash return? In other words, they don't do any deal analysis and they don't know the numbers. So if you want to minimize your risk of being screwed in a real estate transaction, you have to do proper deal analysis. And if you're interested, if you go to 100%finance.com, if you check out the links, you will be able to get access to our deal analyzer for free as an instant download. Only thing you have to do is subscribe to our website because it's important to analyze the numbers. That's where the cash flow comes into play. And cash flow is synonymous with passive income. When you get enough passive income, you can replace your paycheck. Right? That means you no longer have to work a 9 to 5. And that's the ideal situation that you want to be in, the buy and hold strategy. And that's what I'm talking about in this video. You have to do proper deal analysis. And unfortunately, people don't do proper deal analysis because they don't know everything up front. And that's the financial freedom principle that we teach at 100% Finance. You have to evaluate all consequences up front. What are all the numbers? What's everything that's going wrong with the property? And certain contingencies you need in place to protect yourself just in case those numbers don't work out. Okay, especially with a deal analysis is concerned. So that leads me to my next point, contingencies. I had a young lady who reached out to me about a month ago. Again, people tend to reach out to me retroactively, not proactively. It's not a situation where it's, hey, Juan Pablo, I'm about to buy this property. I want your consultation. That's fine. That's how you should act, right? You get guidance prior. When you take a road trip, don't you check your GPS, your guidance machine first before embarking on this trip? Or do you go on this trip first and then say, oh, let me check the GPS afterwards? No. You have to find the best route to take first and then embark on that journey. Similarly, you have to do the same thing with real estate. Find guidance first and then embark on that journey towards real estate investing. So the situation that she had was that she said, you know what? I didn't put any contingencies about property inspection. So when the inspection report came back and there was a lot of things wrong with the property, she said, hey, I want to negotiate, and there was no contingency in place. So you got to have proper contingencies, and we have that in our book as well, Quit Your Day Job by yours truly. Secondly, you want to screen your team properly. As I stated earlier about buying it right, oftentimes you might have a contractor or a handyman on your team, and it's just not the right fit. You didn't screen them. You didn't do any type of reference checks whatsoever, and especially in regard to tenants. Many people do that as well. They do a poor job screening their tenants effectively. And you have to understand this is an asset, and you want to make sure you work with the right people. This is a business. You have to make sure you work with the right people. Okay, you want to have the right contractors as well as the right customers in your business model. Last, certainly not least, the reason why many people get screwed in real estate investing is they fail to follow a successful blueprint. A blueprint or a roadmap, if you will outline a step-by-step process that is required to take you from step A, whether you're in a disgruntled employee, you're dissatisfied with your work, your income is low, to point B, where you're highly paid for what you love to do, you have financial freedom, and you're making money the way that you want to make that dollar. It's important for you to have a blueprint. So the blueprint can be a book, as you see here. It could be a coaching program. It could be an ebook. It could be a seminar and the like. We have those things at 100% Finance to help guide you along that path to financial freedom. And last but not least, you want a mentor to provide a second set of eyes on your deal, just to make sure we see something that you don't see. Okay, so you know what to do. Make sure you like, you subscribe. Don't just be a viewer, be a doer, and share this with other people in your circle. As always, this is Juan Pablo. Earn passively, live passionately to your success.